Good evening. Well, despite the President's insistence in court papers that stage 2 of the Phala Phala process may not go ahead, MPs are meeting tomorrow to debate and vote on the findings by the parliamentary Phala Phala panel that he's taking on review. The opposition party, the ATM, has today received a letter from the Secretary to the Parliamentary Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqukula. The ATM and the UDM are among opposition parties pressing for a secret ballot. Our reporter, Erin Bates, is watching the story in Cape Town. She joins us now. Erin, good evening to you. You sat down with the former public protector, Professor Cyril Ramaphosa, earlier. She says the panel report will fail. Why does she believe that?
Yes, Stephen, that's on grounds of legality and also the sort of evidence or information that the panel considered when putting together that report, which will now be discussed, debated upon and voted upon tomorrow when MPs convene at the City Hall, just a stone's throw from where I am in Cape Town. But former public protector, now law professor at Stellenbosch University, Cyril Ramaphosa, also deliberated and detailed some of her reservations about the Nqobo panel report. Let's just have a listen.
You do know that I have made my comments on the outcome of the panel. A panel of people I respect a lot, particularly the head of the panel, Justice Nqobo. But I do think, with all due respect, that he made many errors in law in this particular case.
Now, Stephen, one of the things I must say that came through quite strongly when I sat down with the professor is the question of what this means beyond this moment, beyond the individual at question here, that is President Cyril Ramaphosa, beyond the current National Assembly composed as it is between the ANC, the DA, the EFF, the IFP, the ACDP, and so on. And there are some serious ramifications here in terms of how things do or don't move forward, and that's because it's the very first time that Section 89 and the rules pertaining to that section are really being tested out. It's a maiden voyage, if you'll excuse the seafaring metaphor, as I stand in front of the Cape Sea here this afternoon. But that really is what's going to go down tomorrow from 2 o'clock at the City Hall.
And Erin, I mean,
for me, it boils down to legality. It boils down to impact consciousness. That justice is an ethical consideration like any other consideration. So I would expect Parliament to think about the justice implications just ethically, but also the implications in terms of the possibility of moving in one direction and then the court moving in a different one. What does it mean? Let's say, for example, the President is impeached, whatever, what then happens if the Constitutional Court says otherwise? So that's just an ethical consideration as opposed to a legal consideration. It's about right and wrong as opposed about legal or illegal.
And Erin, I mean, there's so much at stake here, but people, of course, are also looking at how to sort of see it themselves. You've got a report, you've got opposition to the report. How does Professor Ramaphosa talk her way through all of that?
Well, I don't think she tries to talk her way entirely through it, and she's leaving some of this up to not only the bench in the Constitutional Court, if it does indeed hear that appeal from the President, and then MPs tomorrow. But something to bear in mind, and this has come through, hearing from several legal minds and analysts on this matter, is the oath of office that MPs swear to upon joining Parliament. And they swear to uphold the Constitution, they swear to serve the public. They are, after all, public representatives, and those are all issues that should be weighing on their mind as they walk into that gathering. But something I must say that Professor Ramaphosa did emphasize is what she's not saying. And she's not saying there's no place for impeachment in law and indeed in South Africa's constitutional dispensation. Let's just have a reflection and a listen to what she had to say there.
The public should not understand me to be saying in this particular case there should be no impeachment. I am saying that impeachment should be justified in law and fact. If it means holding back and waiting for additional information, so be it. Because that information could lead to impeachment or to exoneration. And therefore, if we go for it in a rush, we become not only unfair to him, but unfair to any other person who will be in the same position in the future. But also unfair to the nation, because when you remove your president haphazardly, there are consequences.
Erin Bates live in Cape Town for us tonight. Thank you very much indeed.